If it isn't our favorite VIP.
Let's go.
Lead the way.
Alright. We're just gonna run a few errands real quick. We're about ready to do the battle at Hoover Dam. Okay, let's go take a look at a few random things. Crashed a vertibird. Now, I believe we had discovered this before and wiped out all the robots before. Oof.
A vertibird. Interesting. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these.
Oh. Really? When was that?
Huh. Good question. Must have been in a book.
Huh. Okay. Next, we're gonna do the... trying to remember where it's at. Oh, there we go. Hey there.
How may I serve you, master?
Let's take a look in here.
I've read about Repcon. I think they did some work with the... the government before the war. Rockets and some energy weapon prototypes, I think.
Oh. What kind of prototypes?
Plasma rifles. They were intended to replace the P-94 plasma caster. There was some corporate espionage going on between Poseidon Energy's Project Semele and whatever was going on here.
How do you know so much about this?
Stop thinking so much. Thanks. I need to talk to you about something, if you have a minute.
Yeah.
Any day now? Caesar's going to try to march across Hoover Dam and kick NCR out of the Mojave. We're getting caught up in something important out here. Hell, after how you handled Benny, you're practically right in the middle of all this. I know I'm just along for the ride, but it's made me think about the past and how I might be able to help out.
Okay. What are you talking about?
I wasn't always with the followers, or with the NCR. My late father was an officer in a group called the Enclave, a remnant of America's pre-war government. Memories being short around here, not a whole lot of people remember them. But they did bad things. Terrorized communities, kidnapped people. Eventually someone stopped them. I was born a few years later at a military base on the coast, a place called Navarro.
Oh. Well, where did the Enclave go?
A lot of different places. I only know what I was told. Some of them were cut down by the NCR and the Brotherhood. Some of them went east. My mother never told me what happened to my father, but she and I went south with some others and integrated into the NCR. When the NCR learned that Enclave personnel had integrated, we kept moving to the fringes. It's one of the reasons why I wound up out here.
Oh. So, where are you going with all this?
The Enclave did a lot of bad things, but there were good people at Navarro. Good people with a lot of experience. Not many of them are alive anymore, but I think they can make a difference in the fight against Caesar.
Oh. Well, say no more. I'll do it.
Great. I'd like you to talk to the old-timers, the remnants. I don't think I can convince them by myself. To them, I'm still a kid. But you're a big part of what's happening out here. When you talk to them, they'll understand how important this all is. I've kept in contact with them over the years, so I know where you can find them. But I doubt they'll open up to you unless I come along. I know I'm not always the most serious guy around, but this means a lot to me. Thanks.
No problem. All right. Okay, man. First thing. Oh, Cannibal Johnson's cave. We met him already. Yep. Hey, buddy.
What brings you around this time?
Arcade asked me to gather all the remaining members of the Enclave in the Mojave.
Thought I recognized the fellow with you. So what's this reunion all about, then?
Well, he thinks your experience and technology will help resolve the conflict in this region.
Well, now there's an interesting idea. Do a bit of good before we're all dead and forgotten. You can count me in. Oh, and in case Arcade forgot to mention it, there's a 5-word passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My word is old. Appropriate, huh?
All right, man.
If I had to pick anyone who didn't belong in the Enclave, it would definitely be Johnson. He hated what the Enclave was doing. Day to day, week to week, he would question orders, subvert mission objectives, do anything he could to serve without serving. It's amazing he was never court-martialed. He always had good things to say about my father. Said I was like him in a lot of ways. I wish I knew.
Huh. I'm sure your father would be proud, Gannon.
I wonder if he would. It's pointless, I know, but sometimes I wonder what he wanted me to be. Maybe being a doctor in the middle of Nevada wasn't exactly what he had in mind for his little boy.
Come see, come saw. All right. Next. Let's head over to the sharecroppers. See if we can find, oh, well, damn. Oh, there we go. An opening in the fence. That's advantageous. Should we knock or just barge right in? Hello? Hey, buddy.
Looks like I forgot to lock the doors again. If you're with the NCR, get out. This place is mine, and I'm not leaving.
Whoa, 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 man. Arcade and I were looking for you. We're gathering the remnants.
Been a while, Arcade. So, what's the point of all this? Can't find any younger mercenaries?
No, man. Your advanced level of tech would be useful in setting things between the NCR and the Legion.
Is that right? The million-dollar question is, who exactly are we settling?
Why? Do you have a preference?
I wouldn't mind cutting down a few platoons of NCR troopers with my old Gatling laser.
Are you coming to this thing or what?
Oh, I'll come. But depending on the plan, I might not be staying. Keep that in mind. Arcade might have mentioned there's a passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My part is remember.
All right. So you have something against the NCR?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. The NCR makes a habit out of wrecking homes. I came out here to get away from them. Didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm squatting in their land. Never mind that I already been living here for years.
Understand. Well, we're fighting for Mr. House, so don't worry about it. Hey, what do you do around here, by the way?
Do? I don't do anything. I'm retired.
Oh. Well, what did you do when you were with the Enclave?
Heavy weapons trooper. Nothing better than hosing down a target with an excess of bullets and laser fire. By the time I got through with things, not much was left standing. Any morons who didn't run when they saw me coming got what they deserved. Back then, it was war. If we'd been on the winning side, I'd be called a hero.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk later.
What's up?
Yeah.
Moreno took the fall of the Enclave hard. He never questioned his orders, never questioned the legitimacy of what the Enclave was doing. To him, it was all one unbroken chain, from Washington to Richardson. When we left Navarro, I remember looking up at Moreno. He said, "Kiss America goodbye, boys." When we left the Enclave behind, the love in him burned itself out. Now there's just a bitter old man left.
Wow. You know, a man should know when to let go.
It's been decades, you know. By now, he's been out of the Enclave longer than he was in. Most people know when to hang it up and start over. But not Moreno.
Yeah. Alright. Next. Miguel's pawn shop, eh?
Hey there!
Oh, hey!
Sticking around for the attractions?
Hey, man! You're Judah. Arcade asked me to find you. I'm gathering the remnants.
Hello, Arcade. Making some new friends, are you? Why the need for a bunch of old war horses like us?
Well, you tell me.
Well, assuming our equipment cache is intact, my squad would have the edge in armor and firepower. There's only a handful of us, though, so the best tactic would be for us to swoop in where the target isn't expecting us. How am I doing?
Well, that sounds good to me. Does that mean you're in?
I'll be there, but it won't mean squat if the rest of the group isn't there, too. Oh, and you'll need my part of the passphrase to get into the bunker. Navarro.
Alright, man. Why don't you tell me about your old days with the Enclave?
I miss those days sometimes. We all had a purpose, you know? I admit that some of the folks in charge were pretty ruthless. The rest of us, though, we were just trying to civilize things. The NCR was still new, and it didn't look like they'd last all that long. Then we lost the oil rig, and shortly after that, the base at Navarro. Nobody left except us remnants.
Wow, man. What happened at the oil rig in Navarro?
Internal sabotage took down the oil rig. Never did get the full story. The NCR took out Navarro, saying we posed a threat to the region.
Huh. How long you been in Westside?
Couple of years now. I was a trader for a while, but got tired of all the walking. Westside was a good place to settle down as any.
Why don't you tell me a little bit more about your former squad?
I was the officer in charge, and Johnson and Moreno were my heavy hitters. Henry handled tech things, and Whitman flew the chopper. Johnson and Moreno never got along, and I had my hands full keeping those two apart some days. It was a difference in philosophy, mostly. Mercy was not part of Moreno's vocabulary.
Huh. Alright, man. Good talking to you.
Uh-huh.
Judah Krieger is the glue that's kept us all together over the years, and with good reason. Anyone who can command Moreno and Johnson in the same unit without somebody getting fragged is one hell of a leader. Krieger was polite and kind, but never warm. He always did his best to make me feel welcome in the group. I think he did it out of a sense of loyalty to my father. Loyalty means a lot to Judah. Not loyalty to the Enclave, or even the ideals they fought for, but to the people who served with him.
Well, seems like they're loyal to you, too.
Sometimes I wonder how much of my father they see in me. They went through a lot together, but my family went through it too. I'm glad they've watched out for me all these years. Maybe someday I can return the favor.
Yep. Alright. Next. Oh. Jacobstown. Alright.
Don't look at me.
I'm not. Hey!
Is there something else I can do for you?
What's up, Doc? Arcade has asked me to gather all the former members of the Enclave.
I'm intrigued, so I'll go to this reunion. I'll be handing things over to Calamity, so talk to her if anything comes up. Oh, you'll need my word from the passphrase to get into the bunker. Friends. Don't forget it.
Oh, well that was easy. So how's your research going for the Nightkin cure?
Promising, but I won't be able to synthesize the drug anytime soon. I really should get back to my work.
Oh, okay. Okay, well anyway. Alright, see you later, Doc.
Yes, yes.
What's up?
Well, that was easy.
Doc Henry always was a hard one to figure out. It didn't seem to matter whether he was working with humans or dogs. He had an equal lack of affection for both. A regular Diogenes. I'm not sure what the man was after. Knowledge is power, but to what end for Henry, I have no idea. The problem was what mattered to him, not its practical impact. He simply solved riddles because they existed.
Huh? Well, his work was what mattered to him.
Not everyone dreams of being a revolutionary, I suppose. Maybe we can't all change the world. Maybe it's enough just to do good for the short time that we're here. No one's going to sing Doc Henry's praises when he's gone. But he's probably saved more lives than I ever will.
Damn. Alright. We got one more. Way the hell over here? Oh. Back at my old apartment. Excuse me.
With those fiends on the run, I should have... Your travels been going all right?
They've been going great. So, Miss Daisy, Arcade asked me to find you. I'm reuniting the remnants, and they'll need your piloting skills.
Told you everything about us, did he? Well, it's been a while since I've had my hands on the controls of a vertibird. There's a chance I could crash us in the middle of Lake Mead. That place seems to attract aircraft for some reason. But if I get one more chance to fly, count me in. I'll be there. My part of the passphrase is deer.
All right. So how did you like flying vertibirds for the Enclave?
I was never happier than when I was in the cockpit. I was able to go just about anywhere and everywhere, limited only by the fuel I could carry. There were more than a few missions where I took the scenic route home just so I could stay in the air. Caught hell for it every time, but worth it. Some of the things we did were questionable, I know. That's just how it was back then. Figure I've done enough good to make up for any sins, anyhow.
Oh, I suppose. All right, thanks, Daisy. Good talking to you.
Watch your six out there.
You bet.
Since my mother died, Daisy's been the only woman in my life. She was the only other woman close to my father, too. She
And you're
flew him
close
out
to me
on
right
over
now.
a dozen missions, including his last. I've always been close to Daisy.
You
There
like
have been
being
some
close,
good men
don't you?
along the way, but lovers make poor confidants. Daisy never had children of her own, so she was always there to listen. Being in the Enclave didn't mean much to her. She just loved to fly. It broke her heart to be grounded.
Oh, well, it was an important part of her life. Why shouldn't she enjoy it?
As screwed up as it sounds, at least she was a part of something. Granted, it was something admittedly pretty bad, but it was something. If you spent the first half of your life flying Enclave troopers in a vertibird, I suppose picking over pre-war rocket parts doesn't quite compare.
Nope. Sure doesn't. All right, now. Remnant's bunker. Okay, so we had discovered this. I just didn't, Yes, here we go. Dear old friends, remember Navarro. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, cool. All right.
The honcho of one of them strip families got killed right in his own casino. You know he pissed off the wrong guy.
All right, so who am I talking to? Judah.
Glad to see you made it here all right. So, who are we going up against?
I want you to help the NCR hold on to the dam.
Then that's the plan. We're gonna have a problem with Moreno, though. He won't like that we're helping the NCR. You'll have to talk to him.
I'll talk to him.
You've got only one chance at this. I know Moreno. Once he's made up his mind about something, there's no changing it. Some cons got cornered in the ruins of Boulder City, but the NCR let them go. That's unusual.
All right.
I didn't come all the way out here just so we could save the fucking NCR. I'm out.
Look, the remnants come in guns blazing, showing the NCR how it's done. You actually don't want that? To show them up?
I can't believe you've actually talked me into this. Fine, I'm in. But don't expect me to hold my fire if any NCR troops get in the way.
Thanks for doing this. Getting them all back together again. I'll be honest, when Moreno started going off, I didn't think we'd all be walking out of there in one piece. I still don't know how this is all going to shake out in the end, but at least the Enclave can atone a bit for all the damage it's done.
Well, you've certainly done your part, Arcade.
I've been wondering about Daisy and the others for so long, I still haven't figured out what I should do. I mean, I'm not like them. I was born at Navarro, and my father served with them, but I wasn't really part of the Enclave. It seems presumptuous of me to think I could join the fight, even if this is a cause worth fighting for. Because I know when fighting breaks out at the dam, all hell is going to break loose in Freeside. They're going to need every doctor they can get.
Oh. You know what, man? What happens in Freeside won't make any difference at all if the Legion takes the dam. I think you should fight.
Good point. You've been encouraging the others to stand up and fight. Maybe I should take the same advice. After all, I also lived in Navarro. There's something I need to go do, but I'll catch up with you later. Thanks again for your help with the others. It means a lot to me.
All right, man.
Moreno's a stubborn son of a bitch, but he's also tougher than any of us. I'm glad you were able to talk him into staying. Since Whitman will be staying with the Vertibird, she's offered to give her old suit of power armor to you. You'll need special training to use it properly, so talk to her as soon as you get the chance.
All right, I'll talk to her.
The training might take several hours, so keep that in mind.
All right. Daisy.
I appreciate you keeping Orion in the group. Since I won't be needing my armor, makes the cockpit a bit cramped, you should take it. It'll take a few hours to show you how to use it properly, so let's get started.
All right. Okay. We did it. And we got the power armor. Oh, my trooper helmet needs repaired. All right.
Like I said, I needed to go do something. This is it. It belonged to my father. Since you convinced me to help out with the defense of Hoover Dam, I figured I'd haul it out of storage. I'm a little rusty with it, but I think I can manage. As long as you got my back, of course.
Obviously. Okay. We're gonna have to make the decision who we want to bring with us.
Move along.
We're moving. Okay. Eddie. Come with me. Okay. Boone.
Is it time?
Let's go.
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Let's just see what it looks like. I kind of like it. All right, let's just take a look at your inventory real quick.
Fine by me.
All right, man. Now we're talking. Okay. I think. Oh. Yep, I think we're ready to rock and roll, Jack. Here we go. House.
The Legion's assault could begin at any moment.
All right, man. I'm ready. Let's rock and roll, Daddy.
We've accomplished a great deal, you and I. One last task and our work is complete. I'll see you in the control room.
All right. You're committing to fight for Mr. House at the battle for Hoover Dam, which will determine the fate of New Vegas for decades to come. If there's anything you want to do before you enter the battle, do it now before you cross the point of no return. Let's do this.
You must get to the control room and install the override chip.
All right, man. Oh, snap.
Take him out.
Like that?
Yeah, baby. Uh-huh. All right, come on, fellas. All right. Yeah. Nice. Nice one. Here we go. Okay. Very nice.
Stop right there. No one is allowed into the control room.
Listen, man.
You shouldn't be here. It's best if you just move along.
Look, dude. Look, Colonel Moore is in trouble. She needs help now.
Damn it all to hell! Let's go!
Alright. Alright. Install the override chip.
I knew you'd make it. Resourceful as always. The override module is functioning properly. I'm rerouting power to the Securitron vault at the fort as we speak.
Beautiful.
I just need you to head over to the east power plant and manually activate the switch. When you return topside, I think you'll see that my Securitron army is a little more than the Legion was prepared to handle. Oh, and before you go, grab that printout spooling from the console here. Those papers set the terms for the NCR's unconditional surrender. I thought you might enjoy the honor of presenting them to the NCR's commanding officer once the Legion has been defeated. Cheers.
Word. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Nothing. All right. Nice.
Glad that's over. I knew.
Hey, yo, bitch. Nice. Yeah. Nothing fun in here. Right. We're in close quarters, actually. Maybe I'll go ahead and pop my trusty marksman. Is this it? Let's go. Whoop. Made it? Alright. Boom, bitch. Alright, look at the Securitrons. Rockin' daddy. Yes, very nice. We got Boone, we got Eddie, we got Securitrons. Alright. You motherfuckers are toast, buddy. Okay. Okay. Alright, baby. Good night. Come on, gang. Yeah, there isn't hardly anyone here, is there? Very nice. Oh, I don't even know why I'm looting them. I don't even need to do. Alright. There we go. Man, look at this army of people that I got behind me. This is amazing. Judah. Dr. Henry. Orion. Cannibal Johnson. Boone. A Securitron. And Eddie. Cute little Eddie. We love him. Alright, come on, fellas. Yeah! Yeah, let's check out this motherfucker. All right, man. No! Judah, no! You will not have died in vain, Judah. All right, you fucking sad sacks of shit. Where you going, chicken?
For Navarro!
Get him. Where am I supposed to be going? Oh. Alright, we took him out. Are we supposed to go in here? Okay. Well, he's dead. Alright. Okay, now we're supposed to go back and deal with General. We can't let the NCR just waltz right in here. They do whatever the fuck they want. Oh, really?
Caesar on the cross. Been a long time since I've seen the kind of work you've laid down today. A damn long time. And the screams of those Legion bastards as they kick dirt running east like a choir of angels to my ears. Speaking of, that crazy light show over the fort? What the fuck was that? Some kind of thumb of God you called down? Amazing. Fucking amazing. Could use 100 of you. Just scatter you over the east like jacks. Give those plum fucks the what for.
Well, look. I didn't take the dam for you, General. I took it for Vegas.
Vegas? What, the families? Or House? You're talking about House.
Yep. Yep.
What is this Brahmin shit? I'm not getting the feeling we're all about to sing Kumbaya here.
Look, man. Singing isn't necessary, but I do have a paper for you to sign.
What the hell are you talking about? What is this? The free economic zone of New Vegas? What the hell does that mean? Oh, wait, here we go. Demands NCR's immediate withdrawal. Withdrawal? Like fucking hell we're withdrawing. We just held the dam. We didn't do it to let it go. This paper of yours isn't fit to wipe my ass. If you think after all that's happened, I'm going to grab my ankles and take it like the Legion.
Look. Actually, I'm the one who took the dam, General Oliver, with Mr. House's backing.
You know I won't surrender the dam, and certainly not to the ghost man of Vegas and his new right hand of the week.
Have you ever resisted arrest on the Strip, General? I think you know the odds.
We held this place for years. Kicked one-legged out of here so hard Caesar burned him to a crisp. It's our post. We fought for it. I'll fight for it again today. If you're looking to convince me otherwise, you better have a lot more reasons than you just telling me to go.
Look, man. The fact that you're willing to even talk with me says a lot about your willingness to fight.
True. Guess I'm a little too used to seeing Securitrons in Vegas to think they'd turn and be bad news. And I know how bad they can get. Look, House, Vegas, it's pretty. Got you blinded a bit maybe. But NCR's got perks too. Think about it before you sign on with him. And if you say no, keep in mind what that means. NCR may have its problems, but when we're riled, watch out.
Look, man. Look, General. The NCR can't hold the Mojave already. And now you're threatening me? Come on, General.
I'm not going to throw away the lives of my men just to make a point. And there'll be other days.
I knew you'd see reason. Gentlemen. Gentlemen. All right.
You know, I've had thousands of employees in my time. Few met my expectations. Fewer still surpassed them. Your performance has been nothing short of spectacular. If I have need for a specialist of your stripe again, I'll know just where to turn. Back to Vegas, shall we? I really should do something about that monorail with all the new resources at hand. I can make sure it not only runs, but runs on time. Always bothered me, the imprecision. No need to worry about the General, by the way. He'll be held responsible, publicly disgraced. 36.5% probability of suicide, by my estimate.
Oh, good grief,
Kimball
House.
won't be able to save him. He'll be too busy getting thrown out of office. But less than a 3% chance of suicide, mind you.
Oh, for fuck's
Vegas
sakes.
might see a dip in revenue for a few months, half a year. But soon enough, the tourists and their money will be pouring in. Vegas will be a shining jewel in the middle of the desert, an oasis of light, a beacon to show mankind the way to the stars. This is just the start, you see. This is where it all begins.
All right, man.
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again, and the Mojave Wasteland was forever changed. Mr. House's Securitron army took control of Hoover Dam and the Strip, pushing both the Legion and the exhausted NCR out of New Vegas. Mr. House continued to run New Vegas his way, a despotic vision of pre-war glory. The streets were orderly, efficient, cold. New Vegas continued to be the sole place in the wasteland where fortunes were won and lost in the blink of an eye. The courier, fair and kind-hearted to those in the wasteland, ensured that Mr. House would keep New Vegas stable and secure for future generations. Mr. House afforded him every luxury at his disposal in the Lucky 38, out of gratitude and a quiet sense of pride for his choice in lieutenants.
Though some super mutants in Nightkin continued to journey to the legendary Utopia, they found little trace of its existence. Some eventually found their way to Jacobstown, but many wandered off into the wastes, confused and disheartened.
Still grappling with self-doubt over his usefulness in the face of old age, Raoul was never able to find peace with himself. Eventually, he left the Mojave and assumed a new name, as he had done so many times before.
Mr. House showed little interest on the Boomers, who eventually began venturing out to Nellis to meet and trade with travelers.
Buried beneath tons of rubble, the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel was no more. Those few who were outside the Hidden Valley bunker when it was destroyed settled into new lives, or headed west to find a new chapter to join.
Though she'd seen the writing on the wall, the destruction of the Mojave Brotherhood came far more suddenly than Veronica had expected. The news devastated her. Despite her best efforts to leave her past behind, she found herself compelled to make one final journey to Hidden Valley. There, she paid her last respects to the only family she had ever known.
Their leaders destroyed by the courier, the fiends scattered throughout the wasteland. Without the organization of Motor Runner, Cook, Violet, and Driver Nephi, they were easy prey.
Though Arcade was proud to have been one of the defenders who turned back the Legion at Hoover Dam, he was crushed by Mr. House's ascent to power. Saddened by the loss of life and liberty in the area,
boo-hoo,
Arcade left the Mojave Wasteland for parts unknown. He was never heard from again.
Life and
After
liberty.
Mr. House gained control of New Vegas, he sent a Securitron to Good Springs as a token of appreciation for helping the courier. Victor was a mixed blessing, however, as he continually monitored the town for Mr. House.
Cass lived to see Hoover Dam in its old world glory, humming with power the likes of which the Mojave had never seen. Vegas burned brighter than ever. Securitrons filled the streets, and Cass's heart skipped, just a little. Her last words were to the dam, and to herself. We were going full speed ahead, but facing backwards the whole time.
That's a good quote.
During the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Great Khans quickly evacuated Red Rock Canyon and headed north and east into the plains of Wyoming. There, they reconnected with the followers of the Apocalypse and rebuilt their strength. Bolstered by ancient knowledge of governance, economics, and transportation, they carved a mighty empire out of the ruins of the Northwest.
It took more time than anticipated for a cure for the Nightkin schizophrenia to be found, but in the end, it was beneficial to Jacobstown. The presence of the Nightkin leader, Keen, persuaded Nightkin from across the wasteland to make the journey to the town. Jacobstown prospered, becoming known as a fair, if somewhat intimidating, place for a trader to do business.
Lily continued to take her medicine at half doses, and although she remembered her grandchildren, her mind remained muddled and confused.
Oh, Grandma.
Eventually, she parted ways with the courier and traveled west, seeking the remnants of her past.
During the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, some kings took it upon themselves to launch several attacks on NCR citizens and soldiers around Freeside. Mr. House looked on these actions favorably, seeing them as proof of the king's loyalty to New Vegas, and decided to leave them alone.
Sure.
Revitalized by Violetta's brain, Rex eventually learned to balance the memories of his old life with Violetta's experiences among the brutal fiends. His mind had difficulty adjusting, but Rex eventually found peace with his new, more vicious self.
Shaped up by the courier's advice, the Misfits distinguished themselves during the Legion's attack on Camp Golf. Mags was finally promoted to sergeant, and the rest of the Misfits received an official commendation. They continued to serve with distinction for many years.
Though Novak was a low-priority target for the Legion, many of Novak's citizens died in its defense. In the weeks that followed, several bright followers returned to Novak to help restore its defenses, allowing it to remain independent of NCR.
Very nice.
The NCR, battered by the loss of the dam, were unable to devote any troops to retaking the correctional facility from the Powder Gangers. As a result, Powder Ganger raids on caravans became an unfortunate fact of life in the Mojave for years to come.
After the majority of the Vault 19 Powder Gangers joined the Great Khans, the weaker members scattered throughout the Mojave wasteland. Though a few managed to erase their past, most never survived the journey.
After Hoover Dam, Sheriff Myers runs Prim with his own style of frontier justice. He deals with most folks fairly, but now and then someone winds up dead with little to no evidence against them.
Eddie traveled with the courier until one of its memory banks was lost. Upon reaching Navarro, Eddie vanished and was not seen in
Although
Waste
they
again.
performed admirably during NCR's defense of Hoover Dam, the Rangers fell into decline soon after. With Hanlon's plot against the occupation exposed and Oliver denounced for losing Hoover Dam, many Rangers were greeted coldly on their return home. Few openly blamed the Rangers for Hanlon's treachery, but public and political support for the military as a whole quickly dwindled.
After their bold arrival at Hoover Dam, the remnants disappeared as quickly as they came. Legends of their power spread throughout the Southwest, a reminder of why people once feared the sight of vertibirds in the sky.
And so the Courier's road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave Wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.
You're right. War never changes. All right, man. There we go. A full playthrough. Of course, there were many, many things that I could have done differently, as you can in a playthrough of any of the Fallout games. There are a lot of quests, I'm sure, that I missed. A lot of different choices I could have made differently. I have played this game before, years ago, but this is the first time in many, many years that I played it all the way through. So there were some things that I had never seen before on this playthrough, which is fun. Personally, I do plan on playing this game again, especially because I'm building a channel off of it. I was doing a persona, having fun, cosplaying as the Duke from the wonderful work of art known as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, written by Hunter S. Thompson. A somewhat, I don't know if a person should call him a personal hero, but in some sense and in some small ways, he's kind of heroic to me. He explored his consciousness. He explored the ideas of politics and culture, especially at a time in which the United States was extremely divisive, when there was a revolution in thought, art, music, culture, at risk of sounding redundant. So I thought it would be fun to play through a game that, in and of itself, in a roundabout way, explores those themes as well. It seems as though sometimes there are no good choices in life, only some that are better than others. But again, I'm probably going to start another playthrough. This one, I only had some just kind of minor quality of life mods. I did NVSE, and then another one that was like that. Basically, just a couple of stabilizers that are supposed to keep the game from crashing. Although the game still crashed a few times. I edited it out. And then, of course, the sprint option, which was not in the vanilla game. Just because I need to have a sprint when I'm playing an FPS like this. So yeah. Now that I've got my full playthrough of New Vegas out of the way, I'm going to focus on farming all of my content for more shorts, at least for the next little while. I'm not sure when I'm going to officially start my next long playthrough. I'm just going to focus on shorts and you know, small content like that for a little while, at least for a few weeks or so. Yeah, I had originally started this channel, although it was kind of off and on, by playing Fallout 4 Survival Mode, which is one of my favorite things to do. But perhaps I may go ahead and do a Duke in the Capital Wasteland after this, which of course is Fallout 3. As far as the first two Fallouts, I'm just not sure. If I can find some mods that would make them a little faster, you know, because the play style in the first two Fallout games, the top-down isometric games, it's just it's very, very clunky, very slow. So maybe if I can find some mods to kind of speed those games up a little bit, make the combat not so cumbersome, then perhaps I'll do a playthrough of those, because I've never done a full playthrough of those. But yeah, maybe I'll do Fallout 3. I have personally played Fallout 76. I played it up to about level 110-ish. And then sort of lost steam, but maybe I'll do another playthrough of that one as well, just for the purposes of storytelling and lore. I'll just go through the story like I did in this game, perhaps, maybe at some point in time. I'm not sure. I think the odds are I'm going to start Fallout 3, probably here in a few weeks, after I get done farming this playthrough. Or shorts that I can upload to YouTube and other social media. But, yeah. That's it. I guess there's not much else to say. I guess I'll just, let the credits roll out, I suppose. The people who worked on this game definitely deserve to be recognized. Of course, this game is hailed as one of the greatest Western RPGs of all time. As anyone who has made it through all of the episodes that I've played, I probably only made it through, who knows, of all of the possible dialogue options, and different things that you can do in the game. I made it through, what? Maybe a quarter or 1/3 of all the content that's in this game. And I went a solid 50+ hours on this playthrough. Simply spectacular. An amazing game. I'm very excited for Season 2 of the TV show coming out. we will definitely be watching that. But yeah, if you want to keep watching me do any playthroughs, you can start watching the bit of my Fallout 4 survival playthrough. If nothing else, just so that you can see how I play through survival. Survival mode on Fallout 4, in my personal opinion, is next level. Because it feels very much like the modern FPS, the modern RPG that it is, but because it's so slowed down and you have to reach save points, you have to watch all of your stats and everything very closely, it feels a bit like an old school RPG. In that, if you die before you get to the next save point, then you have to start over from the previous save point. Oh, look at this. Alright, we got some famous names. Matt Perry, Wayne Newton, Chris Christopherson, Ron Perlman, Zachary Levy. Yes, Raul was Danny Trejo. John Doman, I know that name. Felicia Day. Yes, Felicia Day. Yes Man was Dave Foley. Alright. Of course, we didn't really do anything with Yes Man on this playthrough. We simply met him. On a previous playthrough, I went with Yes Man, but I don't know. Something about the, from a lore perspective, I just felt like this time around, rolling with Mr. House, given the current situation in the game, in this, you know, in the year, what was it, 2270 or, oh, I don't remember exactly what year it was in this game, but it just seemed like Mr. House was probably the most stable and fair option. Given the fact that the NCR, even though I think that they were a good option still, we're going to just bring a whole bunch of bureaucratic BS to New Vegas, and maybe the NCR is a good faction for California, for the region in which it originates from. But for Vegas, no. I think that the NCR would probably suck the life out of it. Just turn it into another, like Camp McCarran basically would have just taken over the whole thing. It would have turned into, oh, that says Dead Monkey Cast. It means to say dead money. Anyway. Yeah, I feel like the NCR would have probably sucked all of the fun out of Vegas, would have sterilized it. I mean, at the end it said something about Vegas becoming cold. But all I can see is that the Securitrons would just keep people from being violent with each other. That's all that Mr. House cares about. He just wants to keep the peace on the strip and keep the caps rolling in, keep the revenue rolling in. Was he a capitalist on crack, so to speak? Yes, it seems as though that's the case. Is that the best thing in the world? Probably not. But given the current situation in the post-war, post-apocalypse world, where there is no structure, there is no I don't know what you would say. Structured, I guess, is the best word. And perhaps, at least, Mr. House existing in New Vegas, just in his little region. Well, you have all the other factions, of course, operating throughout the, post-war America. It's probably a good thing. Of course, there's a lot of lore in the Fallout universe that I know we would all love to explore more of. You hear that the Brotherhood originates from, I believe it's the Chicago area. And of course, there's the Institute, which exists in the Commonwealth wasteland, which is, of course, the Boston area. And then the Enclave exists still in the Capital Wasteland. But, I think that because it's so splintered and scattered, there is no central anything. There's, and getting too much power concentrated in one area, in one region, is just bad for anybody. Because there's no perfect option for anything. It just simply doesn't exist. We can sit here and talk about what should happen till we're blue in the face. But you gotta work with what you got, man. You gotta roll with the punches, as they say. You gotta grin and bear it. Sometimes, people with power, you gotta, I don't know about appease them, but you at least need to be malleable enough so that they don't decide to exercise their power in strange and unusual and unfair ways. Whatever. I'm just rambling while the credits are going on. Blah blah frickety blah. I can throw my quote in here. A quote from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. My favorite quote in the whole book. We had all the momentum. We were riding the crest of a high and beautiful wave. So now, less than 5 years later, you can go up on a steep hill in New Vegas and look west. And with the right kind of eyes, you can almost see the high water mark, that place where the wave finally broke and rolled back. Beautiful quote. I suppose that's fitting for what happened with the NCR, isn't it? Where the wave finally crashed and rolled back. And again, I think we couldn't have had just in my opinion, I feel great about this ending. The Mr. House ending with the peaceful retreat of the NCR. And the thing is Mr. House made it perfectly clear. He doesn't care if people from the NCR or anywhere else comes and spends their caps in New Vegas. Matter of fact, I'm sure he probably wouldn't mind if the NCR stayed in Camp McCarran to some capacity. You know? But again, if the NCR took over, I'm just not so sure that that would have been good. And then, of course, if you take the Yes Men route, that basically means that you, the courier, take over New Vegas. And what does that mean? Well, that means that you have to kill Mr. House, kick out the NCR, kill the Legion. Obviously, the worst outcome for the game, the most evil outcome, is siding with the Legion. Horrible, horrible Legion. I don't even want to get into it. If you're interested in what would happen with a Legion playthrough, I know that there's plenty of content out there. I will not do one. Now, I may do another playthrough where I take the Yes Man route. But I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Again, I'm going to do a playthrough of Fallout 3, but I'm going to mod it up pretty good. And by the way, you all probably have noticed that I tried to avoid letting too much music be played from the radio on this game. Just because of copyrights and all that. Now, I know 9 times out of 10, YouTube has that built-in where, you know, it can, you know, give the appropriate artists their cut or whatever. But I just avoided it. For anyone who has heard it or hasn't heard it or is interested, check out the soundtrack for this game, or all of the songs that are available on the radio. Now, throughout the game, I ended up walking past radios where you can hear Mr. New Vegas talking, where you can hear some of the songs, and it's great. Absolutely great. S-tier soundtrack. But yeah, you should go check it out. You know, that's an idea. I've come across that before, but maybe I'll make one of my own. Or you can make a, your own, sort of, Fallout, YouTube radio playlist. That's not a bad idea. I think we'll go ahead and do that. Well, hopefully these credits are over soon. I'm almost running out of things to ramble about. I'm surprised I've been able to go this long. I might even stand up and start doing a tap dance for you. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I can... Oh, nothing speeds it up. Oh, well, okay. Congratulations on completing Fallout New Vegas. Would you like to load a save prior to the Hoover Dam battle? Well, I guess not. I guess that's it. All right. Finito. Good enough. There we go. Okay. I guess that's it. Okay, until the next playthrough. Ciao.